please take a second to appreciate Sophia's talent because holy shit, her performance was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And Olivia tweeted, watch the first 2 episodes of I Am Not Okay With This. And in conclusion, I love Stanley Barber. And here with me now are the stars of the new Netflix series, I Am Not Okay With This, Sophia Lillis and Wyatt Olaf. Good morning.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
What does it feel like to see all that Twitter love? Because we're looking at tweets and there's a lot of it out there right now. Does it feel good to see that from the fans?
No, I'm really happy that everyone really likes it. You know, I don't usually follow along with kind of the reviews and everything, but I don't know why. It's something about this one. I just really want everyone to like it.
Yeah,
So
I think it's very relatable, and you feel like people want to be as equally invested as you both are, I'm sure. Well, you know, the show has been described by your own creator as X-Men meets Lady Bird meets, I think, Breakfast Club? Yes. So how do you both describe it when your friends or fans ask you about it?
Well, I feel like it depends on the person I'm describing it to because it's got so many elements that it's hard to boil it down into 1 or 2 sentences. Jonathan's preferred way of saying it is, yes, X-Men meets Lady Bird. Jonathan Entwistle, the director, in case anyone didn't know. But I would just call it like an irreverent origin story of Sydney Novak and her trials and tribulations through high school with superpowers.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to describe it. And let's talk more about Sydney. So she is not your kind of average young adult series lead, which makes me love her even more. How did you approach playing this character?
Well, I loved playing her because she's a lot like me in a way. She also is very relatable in that sense that she is constantly getting into this trouble and she has kind of like the, not angsty issues, but she knows she's not like the perfect child. But that's what it's so lovable about her is that she is constantly in trouble all the time. And I just love how she tries to, fight through, go through obstacles alone. And even though she doesn't really like talk with her friends or ask for help. And you see her, like, she constantly tries to, work through it alone. And even though everyone else around her is trying to help her as much as she can. And I just think just her experience and her process is great.
Yeah, she's a really wonderful character.
Yeah.
And her character is always next to your character, Stanley Barber, which Twitter is obsessed with. And a lot of girls on Twitter want to date him. And I'm sure lots of boys do too. But we saw a lot of girl tweets out there. And, people love that he's like this weird teenage boy. So what do you think about this weird teenage boy representation? How did you prep to take that on?
I didn't prep at all. I feel like I talked to, again, Jonathan a lot on how he wanted the character. He said some of it was inspired by himself and just how he grew up. And so I just kind of aimed to create this loose, really relaxed character that loves himself and just like is totally okay with himself. And I don't know, it's just fun to play because he's just so confident and like dorky, but there's something lovable about him. So I'm glad that people also like him.
Yeah, they're really responding to that. And I think something that they really love about seeing both of your characters is that you all seem to actually like each other as people, and it's because you're like, oh. And it's not a surprise, I think, because you both were our stars in the It franchise. So what was it like to be reuniting on that project and this project and always be together? Because I'm sure you can't. You're getting sick of each other. You have to be. I'm kidding.
No.
Are you?
No.
No. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, it's really great that I got to work with him again. I was a part of this project a little bit earlier, so I kind of saw the whole, process of trying to find the perfect Stanley. And, they were looking at many people, and it was kind of hard to kind of get that character right, And then this man, auditioned, and I just thought, oh wow, I forgot he's perfect for this role. He's almost exactly like his character, and he used that, and he's great. And also, I really wanted to work with him again because in it, we talk to each other a lot off set, but we don't really have a lot of scenes. Yeah. Especially just the two of us together. So I really got to work with him. at this project, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Well, speaking of you all being casted, I love this. I'll just stay here and be friends. You're like my possibility model for my friends. Well, speaking of your casting, I want to read a tweet here from Serena about a surprising element of the show. Okay, but it's so weird watching a show where teenagers are played by teenagers. Like, it's just weird because they are my age, what the fuck? So why do you think it's so rare for shows and television to actually have teens playing their appropriate ages?
I think there's kind of like a standard that's been set by teen movies in the past, and kind of this expectation that when you're a senior, you look like you're 25. And I think that maybe people have more confidence in older actors to portray those roles because they've already been through it, so maybe they have an easier retrospective look at it to understand it better. But I think that there's also something special about casting real teenagers for the role, and I'm just glad that they were able to do that because I think it's an amazing project. But what's funny about that tweet is that Rich, who plays Brad, is actually 25, playing 18.
Exposing Rich.
Yeah, basically, that's my job. Yeah, I mean, Sophia Bryan is 19. Yeah. You're 18 now, but 17 when we filmed, and I was 15 turning 16. So it was still very close to that age range and not like 30 and stuff. So
yeah. That's great. Well, speaking of your age, being 18, you are still in high school. And I read an article yesterday about your fellow high school students not being as impressed with your acting career, or like not being as surprised when you walk into school. It was not shady. It was more like they're, as New Yorkers, used to like being around famous people and being around, other actors. So, your film, or the show is based in a suburb, but you live in the city. Which do you prefer as a teenager to be living in?
Well, I'm kind of used to the city because I've grown up here. And it is very different, I feel like. And yeah, the city, New York specifically has kind of this attitude of not caring.
Yeah.
But I love that, and so, yeah, I guess when I walk into, school, they don't really care much because I actually go to a school that's for people who actually do that kind of stuff. So they're kind of used to the whole thing because they're going through it themselves. So yeah, no, they don't really care.
Which is great. Which is good because it's like mutual respect. They're like, yes, you're out there booking. I want to be like that too. We're all going to get jobs one day. Yeah. Well, since you're both still in high school, are you both planning on going to prom this year?
Do I have prom? I do have prom this year.
Oh, surprise.
But probably not. Well, because it's like for the juniors and seniors. And I just find it weird going as a junior, and I don't think any of my friends are going. So
okay, skipping. So next
maybe
year.
Bowling. Yeah,
bowling.
Bowling is a good substitute.
Prom or bowling. Yeah. Sophia, what about you? Are you thinking about prom?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a senior. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here, but if I am, I'm going to actually bring a lot of my friends from my old high school.
Oh, nice.
Because they really wanted to go for some reason.
Prom could be fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to sneak all of them in, and it's going to be a thing. I probably shouldn't say that now.
Yeah, I was like,
now it's out here.
Sorry, sorry, school. She's gonna do it. You can't stop her. If you have any problems, call me. I'll play interference for you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both so much for being here today. Congratulations on the show. It's really, really wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, you can binge I Am Not Okay With This on Netflix now. Up next, Sizzy G talks to Trixie Mattel.